Well, hello. I thought I would do a little video on where we're at right now. So today is Wednesday morning. A few days after testing the compressed air supercharging system for the first time at Mocan Dragway at their bracket race last weekend. And been pretty hard at it. Race car's up in the air right now. Motor's out of it. But why? Why is the motor out? So I was reading through some of the comments on our test video, and I had mentioned that I was going to pull the big block out and put the LS in it. A lot of people are like, why? Why would you do that? Well, for those that may not recall or may not have been following along when we were LS a few years ago, I do like using an LS motor for back of the track focused racing. So this coming weekend, I'll start off with things are not looking good timeline wise, is dig or die. So it's back of the track, a lot of money involved. Good opportunity to win. If we can get done in time to get out there, we'll race big tire Friday night, and then we'll put the car on 28s and we'll run it in a small tire on Saturday. This is also, we're actually 8 days away from the rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive Cleetus Race in Florida. So in a perfect world, I would get our LS together, which it's got an oil pan on it and a camshaft in it, so that's a start. In a perfect world, I'm gonna get this together in the car on the dyno over in that room over there, test it on the dyno, load it, street pass, drive to North Carolina, race, fly the wife out early next week to meet us in Florida, and race at the Cleetus Race. And then she found another race out there to do. I might be done with racing for that weekend though. So in a perfect world, we'll get all this done and yeah, have a good time. So, and also just to add one more thing while I'm thinking about it, is I bought 10 Soldier Racecars no prep brackets to put in the car, because I used to run a short upper bar system years ago, and it does help out quite a bit on crappy surfaces. I'm actually looking around right now. Up somewhere on the shelf is one that I made a long time ago, and but it gives me an 8.5-inch upper bar, not a 14-inch upper bar. So the 8.5 is very aggressive, because it's like a stock Mustang, and then the 14.5 should be a little more forgiving. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that too while I have so much time, because we got to leave Thursday night, so we got to leave tomorrow night. So I got like 36 hours to get all this done. Sorry, Megan. Late nights. Okay, so back to why an LS. So this is our Texas Speed 427. They built for us last month, and we did that awesome tour in their facility. You can catch it on our channel if you go back about 7 or 8 videos. I spent about an hour walking around talking to Justin in there, and I'm just taken back by just how much they do in-house, their machining capabilities, and just how much finish work they do there. So this sucker's got Cali's Magnum crankshaft in it, boost line rods, a nice thick Wiseco piston, nice thick wrist pins in it. So this motor will handle a lot of abuse. Got Darton sleeves in it too. So I'm pretty pumped. The ability to run such cold air from the compressed air supercharging system in this motor is going to allow us to not have any detonation and really push the limits of what this combination can handle. And I'm going to use this as my test bed to really figure a lot of the system out. So even after we do this weekend, and I mean, if we get time, if everything's done, and I'm confident that we can go make a quick test pass and then go dig or dive, we'll do it. Right now it's not looking too great. I'm waiting on my cylinder heads to come back from Mueller. We're running the Brodex BR7 head ideally on this motor since it's a LS7 based head, so it's made for the big bore. And I've got Texas Speed's intake to go with it. So this guy looks like it flows a ton of air, so I really want to use that. And right now we're just waiting on good old UPS show up for the heads so we can finish up, and flywheel or flex plate, waiting on that too, so that's coming in today. This motor having a steel rod in it, the big block Chevy has an aluminum rod in it, and kind of like Tesla owners with range anxiety, I get run anxiety. So every pass is just one pass closer to rod failure or replacement on the big block. So I've never failed an aluminum rod, don't plan to. So with aluminum rods being about half the price of steel rods, I mean, it's not a huge ordeal to tear it down and do that. 'Cause I mean, it's about the same time you want to put gaskets, like head gaskets in it, or you know, at least inspect the bearings, stuff like that. So it's a good procedure just to go ahead and tear it down, you know, twice a season, just to go ahead and do that anyways, and that's what I'm trying to get in the habit of. But this motor, the only thing that's going to fatigue on it is probably head gaskets, which on an LS is extremely easy and fast to do. So this is going to be kind of our guinea pig motor for the compressed air stuff. So this motor with the BR7 heads will be about 10.5, 10.8 to 1. Not a lot of compression, but decent. And then we have some other heads that we'll put on there that are milled, much smaller combustion chambers, but the compression up to like 12.5. We're going to try different fuel types. We're going to start off with Renegade's 120 on this. So we'll start off with the race gas. I've also got Renegade E112 here to try. I might try both fuels if we have time tomorrow on the dyno, if everything goes to plan. If we don't make dig or die, then we'll spend the weekend kind of testing this guy out on the dyno and trying both fuel types and different plug heat ranges and just seeing how everything works there. So, but as we saw on the big block track video, even though it can pull clean on the dyno, since the pulls on the dyno are only about 2.5 seconds long, it's not the same as it is on the track. So dyno is just a good starting learning tool. So track is where it's at, or you know, wherever surface you can floor it at. So this motor we'll be able to make lots of runs on, we'll make some changes on. It's easy to do, and it allows me the freedom to move weight anywhere we want in the car. And this combination will be about 300 pounds lighter than the big block Chevy is, because big block Chevy is a dark big end block, so big heavy stuff. So that allows me to not have to run so much weight in the back of the car. So when your videos let it slip that I run about 800 pounds in the back with the big block in order to kind of make it work on this back of the track stuff. And with the LS, before 225 pounds is all it took. So the car gets a lot lighter really fast. I mean, it's 800 pounds lighter, you know, 900 pounds lighter. This LS will be able to make some power, and I think it could run some pretty good times. I think it could run as fast as we did in Abilene to win that, just because the surface was challenging. So going into races like Yellow Belly, War in the Woods, stuff like that, like it wouldn't bother me to have this motor in the car. The car is so much lighter, it's going to hopefully 60 foot much better, or similar to the big block. And if it can do that, then it makes enough power to go out the back door with what we got, versus the big block. We're kind of overpowering the back door, and we don't need to make that much horsepower all the time. So kind of give and take there, pros and cons. But the I'm confident we can still win a lot of races with the LS. while I take my time, kind of freshen the big block back up for our really fast races that are going to happen. So, because I do want the big block for when the air gets crappy for everybody else. Because for me, it's not going to get crappy. Because my air is the same every time. So, that's pretty cool. Last year, we thought there was actually something wrong with the car. And kind of started chasing our tails. But it was just crappy air situations. So, it ended up taking a lot more timing swing to get the car to speed back up than I thought. So, anyways, where am I at, or what am I going to do next? Some people asked about our air compressor. So this is our air compressor that we're using. This refills our bottles, and it's small. It's a little low on capacity, a little low on flow, and last night we added a auto drain to it, because you got to drain water off of it like every 15 minutes, according to this guy here, 10 to 15 minutes. And then we added an auto shut off. So what that allows us to do is we'll be able to, whack my head on stuff. We'll be able to start the compressor after we fill the car and let it do its thing. It'll automatically turn off. We tested it last night. It'll automatically drain condensate off based on the timer, and it'll shut itself off once everything's full. So we'll be able to fill the car after first round, or going down the road from event to event, we can fire the generator up, run the compressor, and charge this, the whole trailer up while we're in motion. But pretty much kind of a set it and forget it, and it'll work out pretty well. So we had no problem with system recovery when we were testing this last weekend. So we had plenty of time. We didn't feel rushed at all to fill the car. It literally takes me longer I can hook up the air from the trailer to the car, start filling the car, hook my laptop to the car, start pulling the data log, and before the log's pulled, the car side's full. So it goes pretty quick. So it's pretty easy. So as long as the trailer side's full, we're good to go. And it looks like we can make probably 3 fills pretty easy off the trailer side. So even if we're in like a 64 car shootout, the first 2-3 rounds are going to be slow, plenty of time to recharge the system. And most rounds are going to take 30 to 45 minutes anyways. And it looks like it's going to take me about 45 minutes to an hour with this little compressor to recover the mother bottles on the trailer to 100% after a round. And that's really not that bad. I don't think that's bad at all, because racing doesn't go that fast. So if we're street racing, it'd be a little tougher. We'd be making a lot more passes a lot quicker, and we don't really do that anymore for safety and risk versus reward. So sorry all my faithful followers that love the street racing side, but I do like it too, but it does not mesh well with where I'm at in my life right now. So it's important to get home with the kiddos. It's not worth the risk losing this sucker to impound or wreck or anything like that in an unnecessary situation. And I really like the comfort of having trained professionals there, hopefully at the racing facility we're at, to better my chances in a worst case situation. So not to take it deep or dark or anything like that, but yeah, I'm pumped. Some positives I saw from the track. So we like zoomies, right? Everybody likes zoomies. I like zoomies. We got our LS zoomies ready to go. Built those last year. We got our big block zoomies over here. And benefit to me on zoomies is the car gets pushed to the ground for lots of traction, and hopefully no wheelies. And there's a point where obviously it doesn't always stop the wheelies, but it can help. So we were watching front shock sensor data, and we had weight on the front of the car to simulate the ProCharger. And we started taking that weight back to see how prone the car was going to be to try to pitch up. And with the data from the front shock sensors and laser, I saw that it looks like the compressed air actually forces the car down harder than the ProCharger did. So I don't know if that's just because of we're not having a parasitic loss issue and allows the motor to just spin easier, or what's going on there. But based on the data, the front end acted like it had more weight on it with the compressed air system so far. So I think a lot of that's coming from the Zoomies. We do have the bottles and everything mounted in the passenger side here, and in the passenger floorboard, it's probably about 95 to 100 pounds altogether. You know, a lot of people are asking weight differences, and pretty much the compressed air system and your F3R ProCharger crank drive system weigh about the same. So they're within about 3 pounds of each other. And we just don't have to have it all in those. So that's really neat. So there's a lot of cool little positives that we're seeing out of the system that, you know, seeing how I've ran so many different combinations between, you know, turbo, blower, big block, LS, stuff like that, we're seeing where parts of the system are really cool, where they're really advantageous, where, you know, there's a lot of potential coming out in this stuff. So I'm curious to keep trying it and see what we get out of it. So hopefully trial by fire this weekend. Hopefully I go sleepless and productively through the next couple days, and we can get this car where I want it to be for the weekend. If not, we'll have lots more dyno time. So, all right. Well, that's it for me right now. I think that pretty much covers all the questions I kind of saw popping up frequently on the old YouTubes. And, yeah, we'll see what we find out. So, all right.